The other day, I asked a question in one of my Facebook posts that got some heated responses, so I wanted to clarify where I was going with that statement. The question that I asked was, what is the difference between masking in an unhealthy way versus just experiencing normal discomfort of learning curves? One of the comments that I got was, these two things have nothing to do with each other. Masking has nothing to do with executive functioning. And while I disagree with that statement, I do think that I kind of jumped from point A to point B with that statement a little quickly. So I wanted to clarify where my thought process was in asking that question. So I am a person that experiences a lot of social anxiety. If I go into a situation that I've never been in before, or maybe I haven't been in that situation in a while, especially if it involves human interaction and having to pay attention to the way that my responses or things that I'm saying are coming across to other people and really having to read the field, I get very stressed, and that can be very challenging for me. So if I go into that situation and I haven't done it before, usually I have to go through it a couple times before I start to feel more comfortable and confident. There are a lot of things that have to do with executive functioning that are going on in that situation. Again, just being able to look around and process that external information coming in, part of that has to do with working memory. So if there are skills that I need to build in order to be successful in that situation, in order to be able to understand the routines, for example, if I'm going into a job interview and I haven't gone through that particular company's process before and don't know how they want me to respond and don't know the routine, the way that I formulate my responses, if I haven't practiced them, isn't going to be as good as if I practice that skill. So that is something that is a skill that I can practice, that I can learn. And the more that I can fine tune those skills, the less cognitive load I'm going to experience, the more working memory capacity I'm going to have to just really be engaged in the situation. So there is an element of a learning curve here, and this does come back to executive functioning. And I think that where the disconnect happens here is that when we're thinking about masking, and I know this from personal experience, that yes, I feel really fake and awkward, like I'm kind of posturing, like I'm not really myself, if I just don't feel comfortable in a situation. But typically what happens is that the more that I am in situations like that, and the more I learn skills that help me be successful in that situation, whether it be specific tasks or routines that have to do with that situation, or whether it be just understanding the format and the expectations of the situation, the more that I'm able to feel like myself and feel comfortable and feel less anxious. So that's where I was going, and that's where the relationship is between executive functioning and masking and just the idea of this being a learning curve. What I have found personally is that whenever I have a situation that has to do with interacting with other people and it makes me nervous, the more that I practice that situation, the less that I feel I have to act like I'm not myself. And so that's where the connection is for me. And I know that a lot of other people have experienced the same thing, where they do feel like they can be more relaxed and present. They feel like they can be more they can pay attention to the responses of other people when they build those skills that help them to be competent in that situation.